Really, for me, the beginning of Estenson was a phone call from Tim Estenson. And Tim lives in Arizona, I live in Las Vegas, and he called and said, I've got a great idea for trucking. Are you going to be in Arizona? Are you going to fly down anytime soon? So we found some dates, and we planned to meet at a coffee shop. It was a beautiful October day in Scottsdale, Arizona.
You know, I walked in, I got there before Paul did, and I sat at a table, a high-top table, and I was messing around with my phone.
I remember walking into the coffee shop, and Tim was just sitting there.
And the next thing I know, I get a tap on the shoulder, and it's Paul. And I shook his hand, he sat down, and I was really nervous because I knew this idea was good, and I was so passionate about it. And we started writing out on a napkin the business plan for what is now Estenson Logistics.
And so we just sat there and just over a cup of coffee, just on a napkin, just simply wrote down some ideas. You know, from a cost standpoint, you know, how much would a truck be, and how much are trailers, and how much is a driver, and how about insurance and fuel and maintenance and overhead, and kind of all these different things, and kind of came to a total, and then said, well, how much can we bill the customer? So can we cover our cost, and from what we can bill the customer, can we make a profit at doing this? And it made really good sense. You know, we'd seen some pricing on trucks and trailers, and kind of knew where drivers and benefits were going to cost us. So I took that napkin and flew back to Vegas and sat with my father, who at the time was the owner of Truman Corporation. And I said, you know, Dad, I think this is a really good idea. I think this is something we should try.
So when we left the coffee shop that day, I left not knowing what was going to happen. I left not knowing whether it was going to be a move forward that his father, Grant, would back the idea.
So after some debate back and forth, we decided to give it a try.
So in February of 1999, we formed an LLC, and the LLC name became Estenson Logistics. You know, from that day, I thought, man, finally, you know, my vision of starting my own company has come true. I've had this inner drive to do something like this for a number of years. But the problem is I didn't have any money.
It was an exciting time. You know, we thought this is going to be easy. From all the pro forma financials we'd done, all we needed was 10 trucks to make it work. And right off the bat, Tim got 2. We're like, this is like shooting fish in a barrel. This is like a home run. We're going to knock it out of the park. And so we went from February of '99 till October, and we still had 2 trucks. And every month we were losing a little bit of money, and you know, we were trying really hard.
When I went out and I started making the sales calls with the company, and I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be to walk into a potential customer's office and say, hi, my name's Tim Estenson. I'm with Estenson Logistics, and I am a dedicated service provider, and I would like to look at doing business with you. And getting these questions back.
Well, how many trucks do you have? Well, we've got 2. Well, how many drivers do you have? Well, we've got 2. And these major retailers were like, well, what are you going to do for us? I've got $1 billion in freight, and you've got 2 trucks. What are you going to do for us?
And they called one day and they said, Tim, we really need you to come up to Las Vegas, Nevada, to our office and sit down and talk. And they said, this has reached a point where it's just not good for you. You know, it was a really good idea. It made sense on our napkin. But Tim, this is not going anywhere. Why don't we just give it up, and no harm, no foul. You can go out and, you know, get a job. And I was adamant, no, this will work. I was extremely passionate.
Luckily, Tim, out of a sense of conviction and belief he could make it work, refused to let us. And so we kind of had a deadline. By the end of the year, we need to get 10 trucks.
So they allowed me to continue, and I went out, continued to make sales calls, and I just wasn't getting anywhere.
So Tim was heavily motivated, severely underpaid, working very hard, and for all of his hard efforts, we get to December, and for all of Tim's hard work, we still have 2 trucks. So my dad was like, have Tim come see us again. So Tim flies back to Vegas. We tried to close it down one more time.
And I said, customers want to do business in the first quarter. They don't want to do business in the fourth quarter. So I was basically begging to give me 3 more months to prove that this can work.
And Tim said, you know, really let us get through the first quarter. People want to budget for it. They want to build it in. So I need to get through the first quarter. So Tim had to take a phone call and he walked out of the room. And I said, you know, Dad, let's give him 3 more months. That'll give him a full year in the cycle. We started in February of '99. And so while he was out of the room, we agreed to do that. So we knew that his line about budgeting was crap, but he was trying to buy more time to kind of fulfill this dream and this vision that he had. And so we gave him another 3 months, 4 months.
I said, it can work without me taking any type of an income, without me having any benefits, without having any type of car allowance. And keep in mind, at this point, I had sold my home, I had moved into a 1-bedroom apartment, I had sold my boat, I had sold anything that I had, and I was living on credit cards. So I made the statement, I don't need an income. So I went at it again. I went back out, they allowed me to continue. They said, we'll give it 3 more months, we'll give you to the end of the first quarter. And I went out and the first opportunity came. I signed a 6-truck deal. So it was like, yes, it's finally starting to happen. But again, I didn't know where it was gonna go. I didn't know if it was luck on getting the one. But the next thing you knew, I signed an 8-truck deal. I signed a 10-truck deal. I signed a 3-truck deal. So by 2000, we'd actually become a true viable company, generating revenues and generating some profitability. But it was so close, and I think this is an important message that the American dream is alive. It was so close to going bankrupt. The bankruptcy for myself personally was literally 60 to 90 days away when we finally signed that 6-truck deal. Because I'd been I'd been an employee my entire life. I grew up in transportation, I started at the bottom, and here I was, a partner, and my name was on the trucks of Estenson Logistics. And I looked at it and I thought, this was my dream. My dream is starting to unfold.